The fact that you even clicked on this video tells me that you're very interested in improving your pickleball game. You're probably tired of losing to players that you know you should beat, and you're ready to take your game to the next level as quickly as possible. And by the end of this video, you're gonna have a drilling routine that if you follow, you'll improve quicker than you ever thought possible. Now, I'm not saying that you're gonna magically turn into a 5-0 player within 2 weeks of doing this drilling routine, but what I can promise is that you'll see real results and real improvement just within a short period of time. And the reason that I personally know that this drilling routine works is because I went from losing a 4.0 tournament to winning a 5.0 tournament 3 months after doing this drilling routine. And because I found a system that actually works, I want to share it with as many people as possible to help them improve their pickleball game and get to the next level. So if that sounds like you, let's open the playbook. Number 1, drill for 1 hour, 3 days a week. Now I know that might sound like a lot and that you guys can't prioritize that time, but you actually have 168 hours in every single week. So if you prioritize 3 of those hours to going out and drilling and improving upon your pickleball game, that's less than 2% of your all-around time that you have to spend in that week. So when you put it in that perspective, it's actually not that much time. But what's most important with this is that you spread it out throughout the week. So for instance, if you want to go out and you want to drill once a week for 6 hours, you're going to absolutely see improvement every single time that you drill. But you're essentially starting over. You're going back to square one every single time, because one thing that muscle memory needs is constant and consistent repetition. So that's why I suggest spreading it out throughout the week. So prioritize that 2% of your time to get out there and drill 1 hour, 3 days a week, at least that, and you will see crazy improvement on your game. And the number one reason that people don't get out and drill is because they make the excuse that they either don't have a partner to drill with, or they don't know what drills to do to help them improve from the level that they're at. And that's exactly why I use the Pickleball Drills app. The Pickleball Drills app has hundreds of different drills and games specifically tailored to your level that you can either do with a partner, a ball machine, or a wall. The great thing about it is that new drills are uploaded regularly so that your drilling sessions never get boring or repetitive, and then you can get out there and you can actually be excited to drill because you don't know what drill is going to be next. If you'd like access to the Pickleball Drills app, which I don't know why you wouldn't, click the link at the top of the description of this video. Number 2, pick a target area to focus on during every single drilling session. Here's a quote that I absolutely love from Bruce Lee that really helps pin down this point. "I fear not the man or woman that practices 10,000 kicks, but I fear the man or woman who practices one kick 10,000 times." In other words, whenever you're drilling, you want to have one specific aspect of your game that you're focusing on throughout that entire drilling session. If you want to be a decent pickleball player, which I doubt you do, then focus on many things at the same time when you're drilling. If you want to be a really good pickleball player and get really good at one thing at a time, then focus on one thing every single time that you drill. I remember for about 2 or 3 weeks when I first started drilling, I was practicing my backhand roll. And if you guys saw my backhand roll then compared to now, you wouldn't even think it was the same person. It was straight embarrassing how bad it was. And that's just because I couldn't keep it in. I didn't have the reps to be able to keep it in consistently. And I saw Ben Johns do it and I was like, I have to have that. I gotta be able to do that. Now it's one of my favorite shots and one of the shots that I have that I can speed up on people that they aren't expecting, and I can get it in various different locations. That's literally goes back to those 2 or 3 weeks that I just spent focusing on that and having that be the center of my drilling sessions. So for instance, let's say that your focus during that drilling session is volleys, okay? You wanna improve upon your volleys, both sides. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get onto the app, you're gonna click the category volleys, and then you're gonna pick between the 3 levels, either beginner, intermediate, or advanced. If you don't know what level you are, I would start with the beginner. If that's too easy, go on to intermediate and so forth. Then you're gonna have a list of just tons of volley drills specifically tailored to the thing that you wanna focus on. So pick any of the drills from that list. It'll play a video with detailed instructions on how to complete the drill and improve your game. Number 3, spend 5 minutes to warm up the target area. A warm up is absolutely essential to prevent injury, but it also gets that cardiovascular system going and it helps us to be a little bit quicker. So it makes it more accurate for how it would actually be when we're in a tournament, making sure that we're warmed up prior to actually starting the drill. One time when I was drilling with Colin Schick, we were focused on our volleys. And so before we actually started drilling, really slowly, we were just hitting backhand volleys back and forth to get the outside of our shoulders nice and warm. And then we switched to forehand volleys. And he was explaining this to me and just saying, yeah, dude, I have to warm it up. Otherwise I get a really sore shoulder and then I can't play. So I'm sure some of you out there that are super young, you're like, I don't get sore, whatever it is. But majority of you out there, you're gonna get sore. Just make sure that you warm it up. It'll prevent injuries from happening. You don't wanna get injured, especially when you're on your road to improving your pickleball game. Number 4, work on the weakness of your target area for 15 minutes. So by the time this is complete, we're 20 minutes in. 5 minutes for the warm up and then 15 minutes to work on the target area weakness. So there's two different types of people. There's the people over here that want to work on their weakness throughout their entire drilling session. That's all that they focus on. They're not worried about their strengths. They're just focusing on improving their weaknesses. Now you can absolutely have some drilling sessions like this, but you don't want to spend the entire drilling session just focus on your weakness. And here's why. If all that you do is focus on your weakness throughout your drilling session and then you get into a tournament, you're not going to be focused on improving your weakness during the tournament. So you're not going to be practicing like how you would actually play in that tournament. And it's really going to affect the way that you play throughout that tournament, because now your strengths, which might be your forehand, isn't going to be as refined, isn't going to be as well drilled, and it's going to lack a lot of that muscle memory that's absolutely essential that we talked about before. On the other side of the spectrum, you have that person that doesn't focus on their weakness at all. So then they get into a tournament and then that weakness is just continuously getting targeted. So for instance, it's on their backhand side and they just keep popping the ball up over and over and over again. And then they turn into that person with extremely bad jokes that uses the same joke over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, to where it's just like, bro, that joke has been used by everybody and their grandma, okay? Don't use that joke anymore. That joke would be, was that high enough for ya? Anyways, spending that 15 minutes is really gonna help you to be able to set up yourself to have an extremely productive drilling session, because you're not gonna have to worry about your weakness continuously popping up the ball. And then you can just focus on how you would play in an actual tournament. So spend those 15 minutes just to focus on your weakness, get it out of the way, and then it will make the rest of your drilling session go so much smoother. Number 5, do a drill that focuses on your target area. So since I want to work on my volleys, I'm going to get on the advanced section of volleys on the app, and then I'm going to do that drill for the next 30 minutes. Again, you don't have to worry about wasting time trying to figure out what drill to do. Just get on the app, pick a category, and then click any of the drills listed. For this part of my drilling routine, I'm really focused on practicing how I would actually play in a match. So a quote from Ben Johns that I really like that he recently stated is that you want to practice how you play. So now that we've got our weakness out of the way, we can now focus on what we would actually do in a tournament. We're probably 9 times out of 10 going to be running around our backhand to hit a forehand in a tournament. So then we can focus on that without feeling like we're neglecting our weakness. Just knowing that I already worked on my weakness helps me to feel more confident in focusing on my strengths. Number 6, spend the last 10 minutes of your drilling session doing skinny singles. I've played with loads of different people that are really good practicers, they're really good at rec play, but as soon as they get into a tournament, it's like they've never picked up a paddle before. And a large reason for that is because they're not prioritizing skinny singles as a part of their drilling routine. Skinny singles is great because it's putting you in a real match situation where you're actually playing a real point against the player across the net. And since you're keeping score, it gives you that real match pressure that you'd actually feel. Like when you're match point down, you don't get that feeling until you're playing in the actual match. So if you can get as close to that as possible in drilling with skinny singles and keeping score, then you're gonna get used to that feeling of feeling overwhelmed when you're in the tournament. The way that you play skinny singles is that you begin with both players across the net from each other on either baseline, and the only catch is that you have to hit it to the half of the court that the other player is. If you hit it to the other half of the court, it's automatically out and the point's over. You keep score just like a normal game. I like to play to 11 because majority of matches are gonna be to 11. And you have to serve to win a point. So if you win the point on your serve, you're gonna switch positions and go to the other side of the court just like how you would in a normal match. But the returner isn't gonna move until they have served and scored a point. So the returner could realistically stay in the same exact position and you could be bouncing back and forth if you beat them 11-0. By the way, if that happens, you should probably drill with someone else because you're only as good as your competition. If this video is beneficial to you, which I know that it will be if you just apply the things in it, give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. Also comment below what your thoughts were on the video, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And watch this video right here if you want to improve the power on your serve. You can actually get another 10 miles per hour on your serve by doing these 4 drills. You're gonna absolutely love it. I'll see you there.